Vinny, tell me the story of Jimmy Nichols again.
I told you a million times already.
Please, please, please.
Alright, I'll tell you one more time. Jeez.
Yay!
Settle down, you mongoloid. There was once a guy named Jimmy Nichols. He was the most famous hitman in the entire world. Not only was he famous for his uncanny knack for death, he also had the best soundtrack that seemed to play through the walls every place he went. It seemed to come out of nowhere. And he loved it. The people that hired him loved it. The people he was about to kill thought, hey, at least I got a good soundtrack to die to. Anyways, they called him over to Miami to take care of some business, see? His enemies called him Rubberface. Jimmy always wore an animal mask when he went out to make a hit.
But why, Vinny? Why did he wear the rubber mask?
I told you before, you idiot. He thought they gave him special powers. Though, some say he's fast enough to dodge a bullet with his rabbit mask on. Whether they gave him powers or not, nobody knew. But one power Jimmy did have was that he could see through walls. He wasn't the best shot, but he always had the drop. That's important in his line of work, you see. He always picked up the job by phone, but he never cared who or what was on the other end. All he needed was an address. He already had a license to kill.
That's a good one, Vinny.
Shut up, stupid. Now sometimes he just uses fist, just to make things real interesting. All this killing gets boring after a while. You know, when you're so good at it. Like all people, Jimmy had a few problems. Mainly two. Number one, a goon by the name of Big Black stole his girlfriend and turned her into a sex slave. And number two, he had a disease eating at his mind. Gave him visions real funny like. Every store he went into, he saw the same shopkeeper. Every once in a while, his mask would talk to him. They all had their different personalities too. So how did he cope with these problems, you ask?
Duh, I didn't ask any questions.
I know, you dummy. It was rhetorical.
Vinny, what the?
I will not explain what rhetorical means. Let me tell my story. So, he goes around town, doing jobs. He keeps killing. Finds Big Black. Pop, pop. Big Black still wouldn't go down after 2 shots. So Jimmy fired a third, knocked him on his back, gouged his eyes out. Bada bing, bada boom. Blood's going everywhere. He's screaming. Jimmy's seeing red.
Sounds painful, Vinny.
I know, right? After that, he goes in the back, finds his girl tied to the bed, and she's thinking that her life was over. She's so whacked out of her mind at this point that she doesn't even know who Jimmy is when he goes to rescue her. He picked her up, put her in the car, drove home. After everything was settled, he thinks, I have to find the man responsible for this. Big Black couldn't have been the man responsible. He says, this had to have been a diversion for something greater. Somebody wanted me out of the way. Now keep in mind, he still has the brain thing going on. He's still seeing visions. He's still losing touch with reality. He still has all these problems. He also starts to feel like he's being watched. Like his life is being watched through the lens of someone else. Like it's being followed. Like his mind has slipped past the point of no return. Despite this, he keeps taking more jobs. Took care of his girlfriend in his downtime, made sure she didn't get kidnapped again. All the while, hunting for this unknown character.
But Vinny, he got his girlfriend back. Why wouldn't he just stop killing?
Look here, if he knew danger was at every turn, you wouldn't stop fighting either. You'd fight to keep your future safe. You make sure you don't end up sleeping with the fishes. Capiche?
Capiche.
Okay, back to the story. Turns out, he was right. One day, during one of his jobs, he gets another call. This time it was an unknown voice. It says, they've been watching him. It says, go to the phone station to find the man responsible for all these problems you have in your life. When he got there, He was greeted by nothing but dead bodies.
Oh no, Vinny. Not the dead bodies.
Oh yes, my friend, the dead bodies. Jimmy entered the room and met with Helmet Man, the main source of all these problems. Jimmy picked up the nearest golf club and started swinging. Helmet Man was already swinging his hatchet through the air like a madman. He threw the hatchet at Jimmy but missed. Jimmy hit him hard with his club. Jimmy kept running and running away from Helmet Man while Helmet Man swung his hatchet. His hatchet was too small in reach, and Jimmy's golf club was just the right size. He hit him one final time, and whack! Jimmy took his head clean off. He left the crime scene, never to return again. He had no need. His business was done here. The threat was gone. He decided to go to the store for one final snack. But after that day, his mind started bugging out. Completely. And nobody ever heard from him again. Some people say that the people that were watching him took him someplace where no one would ever find him. Others say his mind is lost to the ether. He drove away, gripping the last bit of his sanity.
The end.